Let's talk. As far as I know, you are responsible for the public information of the United Nations in Kazakhstan. Could you tell me what are the main functional responsibilities of this position?
So, what we do? We are getting the news out. We are spotlighting issues. That's, for example, we are focusing on the United Nations priority goals and issues and their impact on nations and people around the world. We are building partnerships from non-governmental organizations and the academic community to youth groups and celebrity advocates. And we are joining forces to tackle issues of concern to all. We are, through our activities and work, engaging the publics. Engaging the public, sorry, it's sometimes public is just one. And how we do it? We are involving the people in the work of the United Nations through information centers. That's, for example, the office, the United Nations Information Office here in Almaty.
What is the most characteristic feature of interaction, maybe the distinctive feature of interaction period between Kazakhstan and the United Nations over the past years?
Very active, very successful, I would say very motivating and very inspirational in many ways. Yeah, I would like really to highlight one thing which I think is very important. From my point of view, the success of the country is always based on its leadership and how the all strata of people get motivated. But when we talk about the kind of broader dimension of the interaction between the international organization and its member, it's also about the way how the diplomacy works. And if I just reflect all these years of, I would say, very fruitful and very active interaction, I see a tremendous work done also by the government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, of course, of the Republic of Kazakhstan, which is the key partner, among others. This is just not that other ministries are not important, indeed they are, because every UN entity represented in Kazakhstan is having its own partner. The United Nations Development Programme is having its own partner.
From that, what is the main achievements? Are the main achievements as country became as a member of the United Nations?
Well, there are many achievements, and frankly, it's. I mean, if I would be listing all of them, we would be spending here hours. But let me start from the very beginning. That's something what definitely has been one of the most significant achievements in the very beginning in the UN, and that's the closure of the Semipalatinsk nuclear test site. And the fact that Kazakhstan has decided to get rid of all nuclear weapons on its territory. And this is the huge, I would say, contribution in the global peace. Something what Kazakhstan and its leadership is highly praised, I mean, at the global level, and that's something what is one of the greatest investments in the future of the country and its nation. Yeah, because when we talk about the global peace, and everything always begins from the peace. Yeah, always something has to be done for it. The global peace doesn't just come up automatically. And in this respect, Kazakhstan is really one of the greatest examples how the things should be rightly done.
Whether it is possible to be representative of the United Nations and have own business?
It's excluded.
Excluded.
Very simple question, very simple answer. If you are part of the UN system, then you are being employed by the UN system and simply any other activity is excluded. I'm speaking for the UN staff, okay? But you may ask about the goodwill ambassadors, for example, or people who are representing UN, for example, in different directions. Like, for example, the famous actor Leonardo DiCaprio, who is, as you know, championing the environmental protection. And he's having his own business. He's an actor, yeah? But he's not the UN employee. He is kind of attached to the UN, but it's a different issue.